Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Here we go.
Nice. I love it.
Here we go.
You got into that, Everson.
I love it, man. I was old school.
That's the way you
old
kick
school.
off
Hamilton Park,
That's
baby.
Right.
Victory Monday.
I'm looking at Savannah over there, and since this is her first exposure to Stampede, really, I mean, the last couple of weeks since she joined us, and we take it ourselves. We remember this when this was the team's fight song and going all the way back.
They were right up the street from Hamilton Park on Forest Lane. That's right,
yeah,
baby.
Bring it back.
We harken back to the good old days, and here we are. What a win. In fact, it was the most lopsided loss in the head coaching history of Bill Belichick.
That's a
Everson
statement.
Walls.
That's a statement, guys. When you beat, it's one thing to beat them, but when you make history, then that says a lot about your team.
And the worst one was previously 31 points back in 2003 to Buffalo.
Yeah.
So that was right at the beginning of Tom Brady, right?
I just heard Charlie Weiss on Sirius NFL Radio talking about that.
Was
game.
he there?
It was like the season opener. He was on the staff.
It was.
He was on the staff, and that's exactly what he just said. He said, I remember one other like that. It was an opener, and it was 31-0. And he sat there. He said that he sat there and watched that entire game because since he's a former Patriot, he pulls for the Patriots. And he said, I'm going to go ahead and sit through this whole thing. So there you go, 38-3, and. Had I known Mac Jones was going to play like that, my prediction would have been a whole lot different.
Did not expect it.
Oh, man.
Yep. And
I mean, there's a reason that Mac Jones played the way he did.
Yeah,
the
that's right.
defense was balling. I mean,
that's right.
They were on a mission. That's all I can say.
I think they spent the last week with something stuck in their craw, as they say.
I think so. I think so.
Some defensive guys, they show up to work after a loss and they get things right, the following week, and other defensive guys don't show up. They just go in hiding throughout the week after a loss, Everson.
No, they were ready. They were ready. They were prepared.
Goes to show you that this is all a testament that you don't make conclusions and judgments after one game.
And so we shouldn't after this one either,
And
right?
That's very true.
That's very
so
true.
true, Bill.
Because you
So
know
true.
what's on the horizon.
San Francisco's next.
So yeah, there could be a little humble pie in the future, but at the same time, everyone's riding the 49ers coattail. It might be a little humble pie in their future as well.
There might be. There
like that.
very well may be. I bet you, as you check that podcast text line today, it might have a different little tenor than what it was a week ago.
Let's
Savannah.
go. Text away, everybody.
There you go. And I don't have the number in front of me for some reason. There. Where is it?
It disappeared.
Yeah, it disappeared on us. Kind of
We'll
like
find
the Patriots' offense has disappeared.
I have it. I took a picture of it, and I tried to text you guys before the Cardinals game. I did. I sent the text. You guys didn't even pick it up.
What do you mean, you guys? You're blaming Savannah for this?
No, I'm pretty sure
okay.
it's the system itself, Chris.
All right.
I have it, too. I have the number, too.
You do have it?
I have the
number.
number.
You want to give it out?
817-290-3298
All right.
is the text line.
Say it one more time.
It is 817-290-3298.
All right. So, Mickey, the star of the show.
Yes.
Where do we start?
I think we should start with the defense. I think we should start with one DaRon Bland that has Everson Wall's 11 interceptions in a single season in sight. Since
He's coming.
He's
coming.
3 and 4 games.
And he has an Everson Walls like 8 picks in his first 10 NFL starts or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He has 8.
Eight
That's all.
picks
5
over 2
last.
seasons.
That's all.
5 last year.
It's cute.
And 3.
That's a cute number.
I tell you,
It's such a
in
cute
10
number.
starts. Okay, okay. You keep talking, Mickey, and now I'll look up what Everson's got in the record book in his rookie year.
I just want to know.
What you have to look at is I did mine in 1 year. Okay.
Well, he didn't get the opportunity to start
That's
until.
his fault.
You need to raise up your microphone or something.
No,
His fault.
Yeah.
you hit your mute button.
Oh, there you go. He got
Better.
He got
There you
all
go.
excited,
Yeah.
right?
I'm moving around down here.
I just want to know when's the last time you had an interception on a dead run towards the end
I
zone?
never had that. No, I only had 1 touchdown.
Now let's look up pick sixes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's embarrass Everson with that.
Because I believe that's his second, right?
Well, it's his second in 4 games.
In 4 games. So you know what was funny? When Mac Jones did that throwback to the wide receiver, and he completed it.
Okay.
The first one.
First one, yeah.
And the color commentator, the tight end,
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson says, "Boy, you don't want to do that too many times.
Yeah, you
'cause
tell
get
young
in
quarterbacks,
trouble.
yeah, you don't wanna-
be throwing back against the grain."
And I'm sure there was some young quarterbacks out there going, shut
Yeah,
up.
I
old
got the
guy."
arm, I
Yeah,
can
that's
do
what
that.
we do these days. Yeah.
And then, sure enough, he does it again, and Bland on the run, picks it off.
Producer Supreme informs me that the great Babe Loffenberg said the same thing on the radio.
Oh, did he
broadcast.
really?
So there
Don't
you
be
go.
doing that?
Yeah.
Well, of course, Babe says that. Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Quarterback should know,
That's right.
Well, the tight end knew, too.
And Babe should know also.
All right. In defense of Everson. Okay, just to set the record straight.
So wait a minute.
This is what DaRon
Why are you
Bland-
defending me? I don't
No,
understand
this
why I
is
need
because
defending.
we were
Really?
jumping on you that DaRon Bland was about to catch you.
Okay, go ahead.
And
I'm
the picks
listening.
you had at the
He only
start of
needs
your
8
career.
more.
I mean, I have DaRon without 8 picks and 10 starts.
Okay.
I don't take into account the other games that he didn't start.
Right,
okay?
even though
And that's not fair either.
Yeah, I
because
know.
okay,
No,
go ahead.
that's-
I'll come with mine.
because
Go
if
ahead.
he's not starting
so this
in
will
the
make
slot,
this even more impressive.
Keep going.
Everson.
Keep going.
Rookie year, 11 interceptions in 12 starts.
Exactly.
For Everson. 16 games, 12 starts, 11 interceptions. And then his second year, which was the shortened season due to a labor situation that Everson's very familiar with. 7 more picks in 9 games, 9 starts that year. So that's 18 interceptions in his first 21 starts in the regular season. And I haven't even gotten to the playoffs.
Let's go deeper than that. Tom did not start me till my 5th game.
knew that was
And I'm
coming.
Whose
leading the
fault was
damn.
that?
I just talked about that. I'm leading the damn
did it on
league in
Saturday.
interceptions, man. And I'm still on the bench. Come on,
throw
Tom.
in this too. You had 2 interceptions in 2 playoff starts in '81, also.
Okay, well, they won't
So
count
that
those.
even raises
Those
the
don't
number
count.
to those are more important than
count.
regular
Well, I
season
mean,
games.
yeah, of
So
course
that's
it is.
13 picks in his first 14 starts. And that would be 20 picks in his first 24 starts in his career. So there you go.
And then finally they stopped throwing my way. Finally.
Right.
Yeah. But man, you got those first 5. At least give me 3 starts. We could add to that. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even start me. So really, when you look at it, like you said, more starts, more interceptions than starts, almost. So yeah, it's just so weird.
Now, I know we're not supposed to jump to conclusions, Mickey,
That's right.
after 4 games, but I'm thinking next year the Cowboys are going to have a couple of former Pro Bowl cornerbacks in their secondary, and that would be, well, we already got one with Stephon Gilmore. Might have 3
you
if
get
Gilmore
3?
comes back, and because I think DaRon Bland is the head of the class.
We
as
talked very well
if we
about him
voted
last
for the
year.
Pro Bowl
Yeah.
right
We did.
now.
We
DaRon
knew
Bland
last year.
did.
We knew last year he was going to be good.
Third corner
Yeah.
in Cowboys history with multiple interception returns for a touchdown
That's
in the
crazy.
same season, joining Trayvon Diggs, 2021, and Larry
Deion
Brown
I was
in
going to say Deion Sanders. How did I not get Deion?
1995.
Larry Brown. Larry goes,
How about that?
Good? Who's overrated?
So anyway, we can start there. We can start with the defense after 222 yards rushing to Arizona, gave up 53 to the Patriots, and there was no eating done by Ezekiel Elliott. And basically shut down that offense that we were somewhat skeptical of, I think, going into the game. And they probably wouldn't have had the 3 points if not for the one play, the 42-yard completion. They would have shut them out for the season because they ended up kicking a 29-yard field goal after that. So from a defensive standpoint, I think they reasserted themselves. And going into tonight's game, by the way, in the team defensive statistics, they're number 2 total defense, number 2 pass defense, number 1 points per game, 10.3, number 2 in point differential wins, number 2 in sacks per pass attempt, number 2 in interception rate, 4th in sacks, and 2nd in takeaways with 10. The Bills have 11. So they reasserted themselves.
I would say on that first drive, you mentioned the 43-yarder or whatever it was to Demario Douglas.
Right.
Okay. I would say if they had a Tom Brady at quarterback, there would have been a touchdown pass to Mike Gesicki in the back of the end zone on that 3rd and 1 play.
The third
if the quarterback
and 1,
was
yes.
more accurate, there would have been a touchdown
He
pass
kind of
to
missed
Gesicki.
him, didn't he?
Yes, he did kind of miss him. But he missed a lot on that Sunday.
There was probably pressure on him.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, 3 wins by scores of 40 to nothing, 30 to 10, and 38 to 3.
I think that's 108 to 10 in the 3 wins.
Yet we still find something wrong with this team.
Well, we will at some point.
Of course we do.
You know why?
We always find
Because
something
when you
wrong.
do throw a touchdown pass to a wide receiver, it's not a 19-yard touchdown pass. It's
the
a 20-yard touchdown pass, and so it's not a red zone touchdown.
Inside the 20, right?
And it's the first touchdown
By
pass
a
for
wide
a wide receiver.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
So you look at those red zone numbers. Oh, they were 1 for 4 in the red zone. Well, you had one 20-yard touchdown pass, 1 yard outside the red zone.
I heard somebody tried to diminish that because Christian Gonzalez went out with the injury, and so that was the backup corner.
Yeah.
Well, the defensive geniuses over in New England, by the way, the Cowboys lined up with 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, and a running back, right? And they chose to use the backup corner to go one-on-one with CeeDee Lamb. Well, don't you think when they went to the line of scrimmage and saw that, and it's like, well, screw these 3 tight ends. We're not running the ball.
Right.
I'll take CeeDee man-to-man with, I think his name was Miles
Bryant.
Yeah. Bryant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's played a lot of snaps for them on their defense.
He's a
this
fourth year guy.
Basically, you're saying you had plenty of time to make adjustments.
Yeah.
Based on the formation and the personnel.
You're going to sit there and single CeeDee? Well, all right. Good luck with that. You better block it. You better not get blocked up to the line of scrimmage.
And the Patriots were playing without another starting corner, Jonathan Jones. So Miles Bryant has been playing a lot for them this season. I'm not even sure if he may have even started that game yesterday. But he had 70 snaps yesterday, had 62 the previous week, and 53 the week before. So it wasn't like they were just picking on a
guy that just came off the bench.
As a matter of
cold.
fact, he already, you're right. He already started. Yeah, he was starting at left corner. So he moved over to the right side.
I will say, CeeDee Lamb, it was his 20th touchdown catch of his career. He's tied with Michael Irvin and Terrence Williams for 4th most touchdown receptions in a Cowboys player's first 4 seasons. So
that's pretty good.
pretty good.
That is pretty good. I didn't know he had that much.
So, absolutely. Good job by Lamb.
You know,
They should have had another touchdown reception on that first drive if Schoonmaker makes the catch. It was kind of in his hands.
this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay? 'Cause we talked about these tight ends, and we love them.
Ferguson's okay with you now?
Ferguson's okay. Yeah, I always said Ferguson was okay.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he always comes back
Yeah.
and his run after the catch. I love the way he plays, but man, this guy he's missing too many touchdowns, and these are they red zone? Was that a red zone touchdown?
Oh yeah, it was at the
that was
3
great.
yard
Come
line.
on, man.
Yeah,
So you know, our inability to do it has a lot to do with our tight ends not making the plays, because that's who we seem to be depending on heavily down in the red zone.
Or the running back running into the quarterback on fourth down.
Yes. Well, who was who? I don't know whose fault that was.
Well, Dak, I'm assuming since he did a 360 that the ball was supposed to go
Inside.
to his inside,
yeah.
and Pollard ran
To
kind of
his
right.
left shoulder. He
Yeah,
ran to his
yeah,
left
ran
shoulder. as
right
opposed to
into
right
him.
shoulder. Yeah.
So, and those were the two. I mean, if the downside was they kicked 2 field goals from the 3 or 5 yard line, whatever it ended up being. They were 23-yard field goals.
Well,
yes.
Aubrey's having the ball, so
Yeah.
he's having
And
fun.
here I was thinking, they're not going to let him try 66 at the end of the half. He's going to ruin his streak, right? And then they false started and punted.
You know, and we were, speaking of tight ends, we were so focused on the offensive line injuries last week. We didn't talk about Peyton Hendershot
Right.
being limited with an ankle. And so that is why Sean McEwen was elevated from the practice squad. And I really like Sean McEwen.
Yeah. Johnny on the spot on the fumble, too, to recover
that's right.
Turpin's
He had a great
fumble.
block. Yeah, there.
A great block, and then followed the play down the field, much like Biotish the week before or
Yeah,
2
that
weeks
was a hell of a
before,
play
whatever it
with
was.
Biotish, yeah.
And was there to, they play that Biotish play in the team meetings a couple of times, I think. And so Sean McEwen, who's been on the practice squad the first 3 weeks of the season, and there's a difference in the amount of money you make on the practice squad and the regular roster. You know that his ears are perked up. Okay, that's how I can make it. And so I guarantee you the McEwen play is going to be played in the team meeting this week.
How about the Tolbert play?
Yeah,
that should be played a lot in the special
that's right.
teams meetings.
Yep.
You're not just going out there trying to catch passes. I'm trying to make a mark any way I can.
Right.
I mean, that was a hell of a play by a wide receiver. You don't want him doing that too many times, right? You don't want him to get hurt.
Tried to take his head off.
Man, that was good stuff.
And even just negotiating his way downfield to make that play.
Yeah, that was a negotiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went inside as opposed to going outside, and then worked his way back outside with leverage.
Yeah, because he knew that was his responsibility.
That's what he sure did.
And speaking of special teams, how about a 2-point conversion fake?
What was
That
going
was
on
so
with that?
fun.
Can
So
someone
here-
talk
They
to me
took
about
advantage of the special teams genius, Bill Belichick, who was trying to block the extra
So here's a
point.
funny story on that. Before Thursday's practice, when they were just kind of warming up and I was walking in here, I thought I saw Anger and Brandon Aubrey throwing the football, like throwing zingers for about 30 yards, right? And I'm going, dang, look at that. Then I looked closer, and they had one of those little small balls.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay, that's
Right?
great.
And then-
Come on.
But then when I saw him throw the ball, I said, well, he threw the big one just as well, right?
What are they doing with small balls out in the field?
I think it was just kind of a warm-up thing. They were kind of jacking around.
Yeah,
out
but
there.
who has small balls?
Well, they were
Footballs.
small footballs.
I'm sorry.
But it was kind of funny that I saw him throwing the ball so far, and I said, "Oh, they got to have a fake kick."
Why do they
in my
have
mind,
the
right?
tiny? The,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I have no idea.
They should not.
Maybe they're
that's-
weighted.
Maybe
There you go. Could be.
could be for like the deep snapper too.
There you go.
But anyway, yeah, it was a. I mean, they saw. I think Chauncey Golston said that they had seen that they rush everybody, so there was no like safety guy back there.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, let's give it a shot. And so,
That could turn out to be very handy in some games.
sure.
To me, I know how coaches are very conservative when it comes down to it, but sometimes you want to be that gambler, and sometimes I know you could. This is a make or break deal when it comes to a coach. You don't really want to mess around with a extra point.
Right.
But sometimes you think about, instead of going for the tie, do we go for the win? There's going to be a moment that we might have to go for the win. And that play.
Well, and especially you don't see it now as much because of the extra point yard line being moved back to the 15-yard line.
Right.
And so
I could see that happening.
And it was one of those sudden change.
Yeah.
Because it was after the fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, you're kind of discombobulated after that happens to you. And you spring that on them.
Obviously, Bones Fossils saw it on film.
That's crazy.
And so
I'm telling you, that might come in handy one day, guys. You never know. I mean, why go through all the drama of overtime when you could let's just end this thing right here, man. Come on. Some coaches feel like that. Let's just end this thing right here.
Did you think about that when Washington tied the game?
I was thinking about that.
Like, you're going to kick this and tie it? Or
why not? I mean, come on.
Riverboat Ron.
It's early in the season. It's early in the season.
Is Ron Rivera going to live up to his nickname, Riverboat Ron?
It's early in the season, right? I mean, it's early in the season. Why not try it just for the heck of it? Just one time.
And then they lose by a field goal.
Right? Of course.
54-yarder at that.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it was tight.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of Mick Shots. So much more to get to, and we come back in just a moment.
Yeah, that was long segment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys. Guys, we have some questions, starting with offense.
All right.
Dawn in New York City wants to know what we thought of the run game. She feels that the offense looked better yesterday. Okay.
And before you chime in on the run game, we got this little update. Stephen Jones, Cowboys Executive Vice President on 105.3 The Fans, said they are more optimistic today than they were yesterday about running back Rico Dowdle's hip injury. Jones called it a contusion. Jones also said if they needed help at running back, they'd look to Malik Davis, who's on the practice squad, before going outside of the building for help. That John Machota posted that on X moments ago.
So they're not trading the 7th for Zeke?
Not yet. Why are we chuckling?
Yeah, I'm not laughing.
Okay, so run game. What are you thinking?
Well, bolstered by the
I've liked what I've seen out of Rico Dowdle, by the way.
Yes.
Hopefully he is okay, and so that is optimistic more optimistic news than what it was after
because he only
the game
got
yesterday.
3 carries in the game.
The concerning thing about Rico Dowdle is that 2 years ago he was lost for the season after a hip injury
Which
in
was
the preseason.
surgery.
Yeah, it required surgery.
And
so.
I think that's what they were biggest worried about. I think they ran just enough to keep them honest defensively. And I think, obviously, when New England came in the game, they were saying, okay, we're not letting them run on us. And so the fact that they finished with 124 yards rushing, 46 of those on Turpin's end around, got 12 more, Lamb doing the same thing. But that's what they got to do. They got to use their speed. You know, and by the way, some guy named Lipke ran one in for a touchdown.
I thought about
inside the red
Bill
zone
so much. I was so happy for Bill.
Yes.
We were talking about him all last week.
Should have made him
if
right.
They were going to put him in there. And
Should
he
have
did
made
it.
him my pick to click. Should have done that.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
First technical red zone touchdown, by the way.
First NFL
And
touchdown.
And by the way, the pod pick was the who scores the first rushing touchdown in the game, right? And that was
it was.
It was the first rushing touchdown of the game. Hunter Lipke, the winner.
That's right.
I didn't think of him for
that
that
was
either.
late in the game. Yeah, it was late in the game.
You know, I saw somebody try to minimize it. It's like, well, the block that Terrence Steele put on, anybody could have ran in. But he made a nice little cut. He saw where the hole was.
You know, just
Well, he's got experience
You
running.
just don't listen to that crap, Spags. You just don't, man. I mean, you know, we give people all kinds of credit for throwing a 5-yard pass, but you can't get credit for scoring a 5-yard running touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, come on. It's just, you know,
He had to
this
see
game
the
can
hole.
be simple sometimes, but you have to make it simple by doing your job.
Right.
So, no, everyone thinks that they're going to diminish all of the accomplishments for this team and what they've done as a team. That's what I like about it. They've done it as a team. No one's pitting offense versus defense, wide receivers versus running backs. Everyone's just looking forward to winning the game itself. That's what I like about this team. They are a true team in that regard.
And he got 14 snaps in the game, 17 on special teams, too, by the way. So
And when you have a team like this that doesn't have that big running back like we had with Zeke, then we're going to have to do it with the Turpins. We're going to have to do it running off tackle. We're going to have to do it with inside handoffs. We're not that power running team as far as our running backs are concerned. We like to attack the edges. That's what makes us effective.
By the way, in these 31-3 games, we'll have numerous 31-3 games, I know, this
That's
year.
good.
I would love to see Lipke and Deuce Vaughn in the backfield at the same time so that teams can't just key on Deuce knowing he's going to get the ball.
Who would you have at fullback?
No,
Come on, you can have either one of them at
at least you would
fullback.
have
You
the
can
option.
mix it up.
No, what I'm saying is you would have the option of giving the ball to Lipke, and so the teams wouldn't just key on Deuce, and he poor thing gets smothered as soon as he gets the football. You know.
Well, that's why he would be back there. That's why you've got Hunter back there.
he was on the goal line. They had them both in there at the same time.
I want to see it as that's their base package in 31-3 games. Get them both in there so we
second and goal at
so
the
we can
3.
watch Deuce get free and run.
Deuce was in, and
give it to
was
Hunter
at
out wide.
running back, right?
Pitch it out to Hunter wide. Let him go outside.
I mean, I don't care if Jim Brown is back there; he's going to get smothered back there, and you know he's going to get the football in that situation.
Hey, how about stopping fourth and 1 with the rugby play?
That's tough to do, but they did it.
They did it.
They did it. But I don't know if they did as well as Philly does it.
I know that. No, let's correct you. I
I
know
know
they
they-
did not do it as well as Philly does it.
But don't you think-
you got to have a quarterback who squats?
Don't you think, though, at
Squats
some
like
point,
500 pounds,
Yeah, that's right.
at some point, when they have whoever the 2 guys are pushing, are they usually tight ends? Mm-hmm. I'm taking my edge guy, and I'm going and cracking on those guys.
Yeah, it sounds easy, Spags, but it's not.
Can you get there in time?
Everyone's tried it. They can't. I mean, they have to jump on top, if anything, to get there. They can't go around the outside. He's going right up the middle, so you can't. You just don't have that time. You know, it's just like that.
So I'm going to make those guys pay for being the pushers.
Well, yeah, you could make them pay for it, but you won't stop the touchdown.
Because they're not going to be pushing.
Right. Well, so that would have to be
I'm taking one of
a
them
message
out.
sent. That would have to be a message
That's right.
sent.
Go ahead and do it again.
So I don't know.
That pusher might say, hey, put somebody else in there. I ain't doing this.
All right, how about our O-line? How do we feel about it?
Well, that
better?
looked better, yes. Much better to have your 2 Pro Bowlers back in there.
I did feel better to have them back in there.
Yes.
I wish they could have run better, though. I want to see them be able to open up a little better. But, of course, I knew Belichick was scheming for it, so it's kind of hard when they know where you're going. There are times when we ran the ball, they were already outside waiting on us. You know, and that's that sound of a good team that knows how to study for it, but that didn't bode well for us. It put us in some, halfway difficult situations at times.
Well, did see Tyron doing rehab work this morning, so maybe they can get him back in time so they don't turn a guy loose on the outside and get a free run at my quarterback.
Man, that was crazy.
He's lucky he hung on to the
crazy.
ball.
And
right?
lucky he didn't get his neck messed up.
I mean, it's like
he fell directly on his shoulder blade.
They double team the same guy and turn that guy loose on the left side.
Yeah, I'm always fearful when they fall sideways on their shoulder,
Right.
and because that's where you can get that AC joint messed up. So, but I mean, what I liked about what I've seen in the 3 wins anyway. Now, last week with 3 offensive linemen out, it wasn't the same offense, but it's taken what the defense gives you.
That's right.
And so, I mean, how many already long, drives of 10 or more plays have we seen?
A lot.
Whether they end in field goals or not.
A lot.
Or touchdowns.
That's impressive.
There's a whole bunch of them. And so it's a time-consuming
and you get your defense rest when you do that. And that's one thing we can see, except for the Arizona game. Our defense got a lot of rest in those other 3 games, simply because our ball control, even though it doesn't always end in points as far as touchdowns, our ball control is amazing.
First half alone, the Cowboys had 3 drives of 70 or more yards and 10 or more plays.
70, 75, 73. And then they had a 63 in the 4th quarter and ended up scoring.
But all 3 of the wins have been like that.
Right.
And we have to look at the fact that, 1 turnover? Is that all we have? Is 1 turnover?
No, they didn't.
No,
None
I mean
yesterday.
in regards to the season.
Oh, the season.
Oh, season, yeah.
In regards to the season.
At the end of the game
So
last
they've
week.
got 10 takeaways, 1 giveaway, so they're a +9.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
now
winning
that
football.
leads to that leads to success right there.
I mean, look at yesterday's game and what the takeaways did. One was a fumble that was returned for a touchdown, and I mean, there was immediate points on 2 of the takeaways yesterday.
But I like the number of plays on the drive, because last year we were hurting ourselves with the turnover. So therefore we couldn't continue drives like that. When we were on the goal line, we were in scoring position, and then we hurt ourselves with an interception or a fumble. That is not happening this year. It's not happening at all. So the disastrous plays are to a minimum for us, and that's what we need. That keeps our defense fresh. That keeps our offense on the field.
Funny you mentioned the word disastrous, because I looked up on the NFL Network just now. And there was a headline. There was a picture of Bill Belichick, and the headline was "Disaster in Dallas."
His post-game interview was the shortest, quickest answers I have seen. I printed it out. I was like, wow.
Read the last sentence on the first statement.
The last sentence on the first one? That one?
The first thing he said, and then he
What
finished.
was the question?
Question was on why he thinks they're a better team than 1-3 that just lost by 35, and he said, "I said we're better than we were today."
No, let me see it.
Which one?
It wasn't even the question. It was his opening statement.
Oh, that one.
Okay.
And he went on, and then he finished with, "We just got to perform better. There's really not much to say.
Now I've seen
much
some
to say.
Belichick interviews. Yeah, I've seen some one-liners. Yeah, so I've seen them worse than what he put in yesterday.
And then that was funny because the next question was, well, why would you say that about a 1-3 team?
We're better than we were today.
We better than why do you think that? It was amazing. They kind of grilled him.
His press conference today, I would think that the theme of it is we're on to New Orleans. That's who they play next.
He doesn't really.
Well, that'll
lament.
be his theme. The media team is who's starting at quarterback.
That's what I'm saying is he'll get a number of those type questions, and the number of times he'll say we're on to New Orleans.
It was like, and I guess you got to ask the question, but it was 31-3 near the end of the third quarter. The game was over. When am I going to leave this poor kid in there and continue to get beat up on?
They seem
Get him out of there.
They seem to say that when he finally got the news that he was going to be benched, he was like, "Whew, man."
Yeah, right.
They almost said he looked relieved.
That's why
He was relieved.
Everson, that was why he was smiling on the sideline.
They said that he smiled.
No,
Like,
they
man,
showed a shot of him.
That was almost like saying, "Man, what took you so long?"
He was the happiest guy in the building. You didn't have to stay in the game.
He was like, this S never happened to me at Alabama.
It's a lot easier playing quarterback in Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, we continue with more Mick shots in just a moment.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
Your Dallas Cowboys head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers in Week 5 of the 2023 season. Come out to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium on October 8th for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Cheer on the boys alongside the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and Rowdy while enjoying $5 Miller Lites, barbecue, game day fare, and more. Gates open at 6 p.m. Kickoff is at 7:20. For more information and to claim your free ticket, visit dallascowboys.com/watch party. Go Cowboys.
Cowboys, Niners.
Watch
Sunday
party.
night football
Those
this
watch
week.
parties
Sunday
are packed.
night.
They are packed out. Last year's were crazy.
How do we
This
do?
will be the most watched game all year.
Oh, without a
agree.
doubt.
Period. I don't care what comes up after that during the regular season.
Let me see who
Sunday
Kansas
night.
City's playing, who Taylor Swift's going to be.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Taylor Swift, sorry. Yeah. Well, a game that what Taylor Swift does not attend.
How many times did she show up on TV last night?
Too many.
Yeah, too many. Let's just say that.
Yeah, too many times.
Somebody said it should be one of those drinking games.
Yeah.
Every time you see her, take a shot.
You're a little too late. They've
Chiefs
already done
play
it. They've already
the
done it.
Vikings.
Yeah, I'm talking on their next
Sunday
prime
night,
time.
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next prime
Yeah,
time.
what's the best
And
prime
if
time
they're
games?
if they're playing Minnesota in prime time, I got Kansas City in that game. Kirk Cousins, got it. You get it prime time. Okay. All right.
Kirk is going to surprise you. You watch. I mean, hell, he's had plenty of chances, but
Yep.
he will surprise you.
They have a
Which, by the way, guess who tried to take advantage of that with a rerun Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
When he hosted.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That was their redo.
I saw that. I saw that.
So only 2 undefeated teams left.
Yes.
In the National Football
And
League.
the Cowboys have to play both
The
of them.
Eagles and Niners.
They get to play both of them.
That's right. Get to play.
Get to play both of them.
Should have been 3.
So Cowboys, San Francisco this week, and then Philadelphia's playing Minnesota. Those are the 2 unbeatens. And Miami got a little humble pie yesterday in Buffalo after winning 70-20 over Denver. They lose 48-20 to the Bills yesterday.
So, since you brought that up, San Francisco beat Arizona 35-16. So I saw this note on the NFL media site. Brock Purdy was 20 of 21 for 283 yards. Christian McCaffrey had 177 yards from scrimmage, 106 rushing, 71 receiving, and 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
3 rushing, 1 receiving.
Were they all red zone touchdowns?
I didn't look at the yardage
Good question.
on the touchdowns. And then I also saw this Khalil Mack, Chargers, right? 6 sacks versus Vegas. Tied somebody by the name of Adrian Claiborne in 2017.
Who was matched up against?
Green.
Chaz Green at left
of
tackle
the Cowboys.
for the Cowboys. That's right.
And only 2 other guys have had as many as 6, Fred Dean and Derek Thomas, and Thomas has the single-game record with 7 sacks in 1990. How about that for a little
Need
bit
to let
of
Micah
history.
know that's the single game record.
That's right.
7.
Yeah.
That'll be something you can look towards.
Since he
Speaking
didn't
of
get
that-
well, somebody asked, did you say somebody asked about his injury?
Yeah.
Micah Parsons?
He did.
Yes.
He did miss some snaps. They kind of held him out, and then he got back into the game. So
The question was, should he have gone back into the game?
they probably couldn't tie him down.
If Micah feels like he can play, Micah can play.
Let's see.
Right.
He ended up with 44 snaps. That was 80% of the game. The only ones that had more were Van Der Esch, Curse, and Gilmore at 100%, and Hooker had 95%. And by the way, Van Der Esch, aside from the fumble recovery for the touchdown,
7 tackles.
he had a pretty darn good game filling the hole.
I saw him come through one time. He read it. It looked like a Sean Lee play. He read it very well, came over the top real well, had some help. But I don't think I've seen him approach a play, freely the way he did in that play. And
it
that
helps
came
when
from anticipation.
And
that
when
came
you
from
keep
anticipation.
people off of him, too,
Yes,
by the way.
Yes.
First touchdown since high school.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what he said.
8-man football.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
forgot
now,
about
I don't
that
feel
part.
so bad. I don't feel so bad. See, you're talking about my interceptions. No touchdowns. I don't feel so bad.
Did you have any in high school?
I did.
Okay.
I had an offensive touchdown in high school.
I was going to say, as
my
a
first
receiver.
touchdown was a flag route. Randy Wade, second team QB, baby. That was my dude.
Who was that against?
Randy Wade. It was against Sunset.
Sunset.
That's right, our first game. Mm-hmm. Had some little kid on me. I mossed him. He got mossed.
There you go.
So the Cowboys only had 1 sack, is that right?
Yes.
3.
Two.
No, I thought it was 3.
Let's see.
No, Sam Williams had one.
Two.
And had two. Sam Williams.
And then Fowler.
And Fowler.
With the strip.
On the strip.
So Micah got shut out, but he also caused one of those interceptions with another pressure. That should be another stat. You get an assist on an interception.
Okay. So in addition to the quarterback pressure,
because I think he was the one that chased.
You also get a
he
forced
Jones.
like an FI. You
Yeah.
have a forced fumble.
Forced interception.
FI is a forced interception.
Because he was the one that caused Mac Jones to go to the right.
Well, you can
and
start
try to
keeping
throw
that
back.
stat.
I can do it myself.
Yeah.
But that means you have to go back through all the other stats throughout NFL history and give everyone else their props.
Everybody up to speed on it.
I don't think there's enough video for
That's
that.
true.
Okay, Producer Supreme sent me a quick note.
Okay.
We were talking about McCaffrey earlier. His touchdowns were on the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, 6 yard line, and 18 yard line.
All in the red zone.
All in the red zone.
How many red zone touchdowns the Cowboys have?
Technically, 3. No, 1 in the game. They had 2.
No, in 4 games. In over 4 games, Producer
They had
Supreme.
2 in the opener, right?
1.
Pollard had 2, and Turpin had 1.
Well, we're changing that this week against the 49ers, right?
Yes, absolutely. They're getting
That's the goal.
closer
More red
and
zone.
closer.
That may be the key to victory this week. Have more red zone touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey has in the game.
Because they left.
That might beat them.
They left 8 points on the field, in my books, with the 2 field goals from 23 yards.
Okay.
Gotta have touchdowns.
All right. Well, that was a Victory Monday edition of Mick Shots, and I got an idea. How about we have another Victory Monday edition of Mick Shots next Monday?
Yes.
All right.
Did we get a clean sweep on our college games? Everybody won?
We got one here, and let's hope we have another one next week.
One here.
Love it.
One there.
We got the big one.
Got it. Everybody's victorious today.
What
I
did
love
the
it. I love
Grambling
it.
game end so late they couldn't get it in the newspaper? I saw the game story in today's
I don't know, but I was
paper.
one of the last people at the game. I was there till almost till
Everyone
they blew the
leaves
whistle.
after halftime.
That's what they did. They did. Then some of them like, man, I'm not going anywhere. This game is still intact. So it was a good game. I really enjoyed it.
I noticed that at high school games too. After the bands performed,
yeah, that's when the
each
the
for like
battle of
20
the
minutes
bands.
each.
That's the battle of the bands. That's where we would kick all y'all's asses.
I know it.
All right,
All y'all's asses.
That's right.
All right.
you don't know about marching Mizzou.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can figure it out.
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
That does it for Mick Shots for this Monday. Have a great day, and we will shout at you again tomorrow at noon.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!